who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm 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 who you with, Kirk, dog.
Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm who you with, Kirk, dog. Want to welcome everyone to the show. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, D Live, as always, in the house. Welcome to the show. You can live chat with us during the show. Everybody is welcome here, regardless of who you are or who you represent. You are welcome here. A couple of house rules, though. If you are on my personal Facebook page, please go over to the show page, Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. It's right at the bottom of the stream. For when you decide to chat live with us, we can put your message up on the stream. And also, if you call in or in the chat room, please be respectful. This is a platform for everyone, so everybody is welcome. So please be respectful and come with facts, no conspiracy theory. So definitely take a part of that. Well, have a couple of stories we're going to hit on, but I also have a question for you. Do you think it's fair that Sha'Carri Richardson was not added to the U.S. Olympic team after testing positive for marijuana? Then I got a short notice a while ago. Still finding out information, but you can help. Terra Roling out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Was seen on video chasing black kids with a knife in a park. And they are calling for her arrest because apparently Fort Wayne police haven't done anything about it. So we need to come together and make sure justice is served. Seems like every day we're dealing with something like this. Then we also have an update on Edward Mathews out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. He was arrested last night. By the time we got off the air, he had been arrested. But if you've been following the show, you know I do investigate stuff. So I did speak with Internal Affairs Officer Officer Orange today. So we'll kind of talk about that too. Now, if you are in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and if you want to give us bird's eye view, you can always call in and share what you know about the case. Because with investigating more into it, there's been a history of this guy. And then we're also going to talk about, I'd seen an interview. What was his name? Jerry Frazier. Jerry Frazier, I believe that was his name. Did an interview with Internal Affairs Officer Orange, and he asked some good questions. And so we're going to discuss that and see what we can come up with, because we need to hold this guy accountable But still, we need to hold this police department accountable, because I feel like it was some things that wasn't done in a timely manner. But that's my personal opinion. Now, after talking with Officer Orange, um, I'm still like, y'all didn't do enough. So that's my personal opinion. And we're going to discuss that a little bit more, because um, we'll find out more about the city. So we will talk about it. So it came out, I guess, about 3 hours ago, that Sha'Carri Richardson, even though she had this 30-day suspension, and she admitted to what she done. That's not a surprise. She admitted to it and said she was wrong. But the whole time they made it seem like she was still going to be able to run in the 4x100. And today it came out she won't be able to do that either. So she will not be a part of the Tokyo Olympics. Now, personally, her suspension is up. They should allow her to run. There been people that was that actually done worse things than her. And smoking marijuana is not an enhancer to make her run faster. But at the same time, the Olympics, to me, in my eyes, is a disappointment, for the simple fact, this is, if I had to say for myself, from far as I know, as for track and field and all the different sports, this is the Olympics that have had the most sisters competing in it, from as far as I remember. I know it's been a lot more before now, but I think I even made a comment a while back that, hey, this Olympic, call it Chocolate City, because it's so many sisters and brothers that are competing. Now they trying to find reasons to keep them from competing. Stuff like this, the fact that um, Sha'Carri go up under stress, smoke weed, did not deny it. They decided to suspend her. Now, okay, that's fine. She couldn't do the 100 by herself. That's fine. She accepted that. But now you want to knock her down even more. The fact that she done everything she needed to do to train for this race. I can understand if it was steroids or something like that. That's a completely different thing. But you have a player that comes out and she says she ate a pork burrito off of a food truck, reason why she tested positive. But she's still running. And that's a problem. So I feel like this. I mentioned it last night. They have a long list of sponsors. At this point, I think some of these sponsors need to take a stand. They need to say, hey, this is not fair. You have to speak up. You're the one putting the money into it. Speak up. Allow us to know, because here it is. You still want us to support you. And it's a long list, from Airbnb, Coca-Cola, Bridgestone. That's just some of the major ones from here. And there's a lot more. Panasonic, Procter & Gamble, Samsung Electronic, Toyota, Visa, Nintendo, Sega. Hey, if it wasn't from us purchasing your merchandise, you will not be where you are. But at the same time, as people, we need to say, you know what? Y'all need to step in. Y'all are the sponsors. Y'all are the ones that's giving out the money that's making this Olympic to happen. So at this point, look at it for what it is and do the right thing. Allow her to run, allow her to compete. And I really feel like if she did compete, she's probably going to win every race that she's in. And that's a threat. So allow her to compete. So that's the way I see it. Let me know how you feel about it. Do you think it's fair that she won't be able to compete in the Olympics at all? And let us know how you feel. Once again, if you are on my personal Facebook page, please go to speak on it with Who You With Kurt Dog. It's at the bottom, and chime in on there. Excuse me. Then I found this woman. She Terra Roling out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Not too long ago, she was seen on video chasing young black kids at a park. Not just chasing them, but she decided to do like, well, I guess she did it before. Edward Mathews called the kids out their name, called them all type of N words and everything else. But then, not only that, she even had a knife in her hand while she was in the middle of chasing them. Now, you pulled out this knife, chasing these kids, like you Jason from Friday the 13th. And when you couldn't catch them, you did like most Karens do, called the police. Now, here's the problem. The police come out. They did put at least one child in the back seat of their car as if they was the problem. But here it is, this grown-ass woman chasing these young kids that is at the park. So now she want to be the park police. Now, what would have happened if she would have caught one of those young kids while she had the knife out? I could just imagine what would have happened. For the simple fact, why are you bothering these kids? They at a park playing, having fun, but you want to bring your ass up here and terrorize these kids. And for Fort Wayne Police Department not to do anything about it, it sounds like another police department. Until it go viral, I'll say within the next day or two, Terra Roling will be arrested. That's why we need to get the word out there. For the simple fact, as long as people not talking about it, they'll pretend like it never happened. That's what this platform is for. We're going to put highlights on it to make sure justice is done. I could just imagine what would have happened if she would have caught one of those kids. Because if she would have caught one of them, she probably would have killed one of them. Whatever the reason was, it gave you no right to chase a child with a knife. Now, we seen several months back where a young lady was fighting this other young lady, and she was going after her with a knife. This young lady lost her life. Now, I don't know if Terra still had the knife in her hand when the police arrived, but that should be a red flag by itself. And I'm sure somebody said, hey, she was chasing us with a knife because it's on video. But Fort Wayne Police Department decided not to do anything. So that's why we need to take a stand on it and get this word out. And I'm going to see if I can actually put the number up on the stream where you could call and demand justice for these kids. Because the thing is, enough is enough. You have to take a stand on something. And I don't care what the kids was doing. If they wasn't attacking her, she had no right to pull out a knife and chase the kids. And trying to make sure I get the right number up. But definitely, I could just imagine the nightmares the kids may still be having, seeing this woman coming after them for whatever reason it was. It gives us no right, and for her to call the police on kids playing in the park, that's just wrong. It's wrong. And I'm trying to make sure I give you the correct number, as there's a couple of numbers on here. But this is the Fort Wayne Police Department number. You can definitely call, let your voice be heard, and hopefully something would happen. It's no denying it. It's a video. It's a video, the fact that she chased the kids with a knife. And apparently it was at a school playground. I said a park, but at a school playground, because they also have the Fort Wayne school superintendent number on here. So we'll put that number up too. I don't know if she's a teacher. I don't know. But I do know she's not right. She's not right for going after these kids. Why would you want to chase kids? And that's a problem. That's the problem that we have in America when it comes down to racism. And it's different laws for everybody. If you're black, you get a stiffer law. And if you're white, you get a slap on the wrist. Trying to make sure I put the superintendent name up there. But definitely reach out to them tomorrow and make sure justice is served, because this woman should not be on the school grounds. I don't know if her kids was there, but it give her no right to pull a knife out on kids, none whatsoever. So definitely go ahead and reach out to them so we can make sure justice is served. So this is the superintendent number, Mark Daniels, 260-467-2025, 260-467-2025. Reach out to them, demand justice for these young kids, for the parents. And it's an organization that is working on it up there. See if I can find Change Makers, Fort Wayne Division. So they are working on it. So hopefully they can make some things happen, but it's going to take a village. It's going to take a village, because enough of this have gone on way too long for minority kids, Black people, minorities in general, should not be faced with these type of things. And also, they have the prosecutor number. So let me get her information up and see if we can blow her phone up and her email, because this is way too much. When I seen this story, I was like, "You got to be kidding me! This cannot be true." But making edit, yes, it is. It's definitely true. I'm gonna put her phone number and email up where you can reach out to her and demand that she file charges against her. Unfortunately, sometimes the things get overlooked. Why? Because if you white, you right. But the police never did take the kids serious enough. So definitely reach out to Karen Richards and demand that she hold this woman accountable and go from there. So definitely reach out to her. If you need the information again, I will put it up from time to time as we go on with the show. But enough, people have to say, you know what? This is stupid to do this. This is crazy for people to continue to do things like Terra Roling just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it. Now, just imagine if one of those parents, when it came up and seen this woman chasing a child with a knife, or better yet, what if a bystander, instead of filming, witnessed this woman chasing these kids with a knife? Then the story will be completely different. Because at this point, you don't know what she's doing. The only thing you see is a woman chasing kids with a knife. Not unless you know her, not unless you know what the deal is. But that should never happen. Now, if the kids attacked her, that's different. But I doubt it. I doubt it if they attacked her. So yeah, definitely reach out to it, to those departments, and make sure you let them know how you feel about it, and go from there. Now we're going to go on to Edward Mathews. I was able to reach Internal Affairs Officer Officer Orange, with Internal Affairs, and to talk about this story. And he was saying, well, he was charged on Friday. They gave him a summons to show up at court. But many more videos have came out and more allegations have came out against Edward Mathews. One video I seen, he said he'd been arrested 3 times for selling drugs, because that's what he do. That's what he do. He sell drugs. And the police not going to do anything to him. Well, Officer Orange said that that's incorrect. But then I asked Officer Orange, I said, hey, what about this young lady, Jasmine Jean, that actually said that the same thing similar happened to her when she used to live upstairs from him? Now, let me back up real quick. That couple that was in the video, I wasn't aware that they was a interracial couple. I wasn't aware of that, which it still wouldn't make a difference. But it's starting to put the puzzles together, the reason why Edward responded like that. And then after seeing Jasmine's video today, um, she said that she actually dealt with him. She filed police cases against him. But the case, after she filed the case, the videos and all of that was deleted or something. But it was one video, like I said, she said herself that he tried to intimidate her to keep her from pressing charges against her, and kind of made threats to her, saying, well, ain't nothing gonna happen. I sell drugs. I've been to prison 3 times, and all this other stuff he said. Now, one picture that I seen that he allegedly wrote on her car, I'm the nigga that love to suck cock. That's what he allegedly wrote on her car, harassing her. And in this picture, you can see the shadow of the police looking at him. That should have been enough evidence there, if she had the proof to show that it was him. Now, like he said, the cops not going to do anything to me. They're not going to do a thing to me. They're going to come out, but they're not going to do anything. So apparently that was true, even though Officer Orange said it's not true. But after continuing to research, it's like, hey, what's really going on? Jerry Frazier, just so happening, after right before I called Officer Orange, well, apparently he just did a Facebook Live with Jerry Frazier, and he was asking him a lot of questions. And one, I didn't see it till after I got off the phone with Officer Orange, and I'm like, hey, listening to that video, one question that Jerry Frazier asked was, hey, how many blacks do y'all have on the department? And I heard someone say 1, but I guess he's getting ready to retire. Then I heard, I believe Officer Orange said 2. Well, if 1 is getting ready to retire, you only have 1. Once that one retired, you only have 1. Now, here's the here's the problem with that, is the fact that out of that, in that particular city, just talking about Mount Laurel, New Jersey, I want to say it was like 82.9% white. And I think it's like 6 point something blacks. And I think it was like Asian, but either way. But you had 1 officer, now you have 2, but 1 getting ready to retire. That's just don't add up right. And listening to different videos, different reports about this particular city, that's pretty much a Klan neighborhood, allegedly a Klan neighborhood, because it's a suburb. I believe they said it's like south of South Jersey or something, and it's pretty much a Klan neighborhood. So when you have the police department and you have elected officials running this thing, 9 times out of 10, I hate to say it, but um, Matthew probably going to get off. When you have that type of setting in this particular city. And it's sad to say that, but that's the way they have it set up. Um, I'm trying to pull up the real numbers. If I could give it to you on the demographic, where you can know for sure. Um, but when I seen the numbers, I'm like, man, this is pretty low. It's the population of that city is 41,864 residents, reflecting an increase of 1,643. That's a plus 4.1%, according to the 2000 census. Now, as for now the NFL films, that's homes of the NFL films. So that's how it is. But as for trying to find those numbers that I pulled up earlier. Okay. Trying to get the correct numbers, but it was pretty lopsided. Now I'm not saying it's wrong. Maybe people unable to afford to live there. I don't know, but for Matthew to come out and say he's sold drugs, that's all he do. That tells you a lot right there. So according to what I'm looking at now, it's saying that it's, and I was wrong, it's 79, not 89%, it's 79.42% white, 9.70% black or African American, 0.16% Native American, which is only 67 Native American and 7.26%, Asian 0.04%, Pacific Island 1%, and other races 2.42%. And then Hispanic or Latino is 4.5% of the population. And the whole deal is with this particular city. You mean to tell me, I understand majority of the people is white, but you have other race there. And you only have 2 blacks on your police force. Now, maybe everybody not applying to go work there. Who knows? I don't know. But it seems like you might need to try to have every race that you represent, have them all represented by your force and by your elected officials, because I'm wondering now, and I kind of have a feeling how it may be. I don't know for sure, but it's a good chance that the whole city council may all be Caucasian. I'm trying to pull it up now. Let's see. So let's see. See if I can pull up and see who's who. That's 9 times out of 10. Normally, when you see cities like that, you will get all one-sided. They'll all be one-sided, and nobody. They basically go in and do what they want to do. And that's why it's important that we vote, because we need to have it represented by everybody. Oh, well, let me take that back. Um, Kareem Pritchard, who is the deputy mayor, is a brother. So I will take that back. I wasn't aware of that. And so that's a good thing. But you don't know where he stand on things. And trying to see who's the mayor for this particular city. If you're just not tuning in, like we say all the time on the show, sometimes we do research on the show. Other things may come up and we want to find out. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to do. May want to find out information, but so look like the deputy mayor is a brother. And look like have one Pakistani American that is on there. And Stephen, that's the mayor. Yes, he just got elected in 2021. Karen, that's not a good name to have right now, but okay. Then they have a city council who is an immigrant from Greece that is on the city council also. So that's pretty much a good mixture, but at the same time, these police officers definitely need to be held accountable for their action. Now, one thing Detective Orange did tell me, he said, well, it's an internal affair. Mr. Frazier came out, he made a formal complaint, which we will put it in, we will investigate it. He couldn't speak on whether or not some disciplinary action was going to be taken against that officer, but he said they would definitely investigate it. I did see other live feeds where the police chief was out there talking, and they was talking, asking questions. A lot of it I couldn't really hear that good for the simple fact you have a lot of people talking over each other. You have questions coming from each way. And if people would just take their time and ask the question to get a definite answer, then you could get all your questions answered. So that was one of the things I seen that was going on today. So Edward Mathews supposed to go to court on Friday, January the 9th, and they will make a decision what charges. Well, he's already been charged, but when he go to court, they'll decide what his punishment can be, and so we'll kind of see. Now, I did see last night when they was arresting Matthew. A lot of people was upset throwing ballers and throwing stuff at him. And unfortunately, even the policeman even said that they watching the videos and they're gonna come back and charge these people that done stuff like that. So be mindful, be smart about this. Now, yeah, I've seen some other videos where people say, well, before the police went in there, y'all should have went in there and snatched him outside his house naked and did whatever. But at the same time, doing stuff like that is only going to add fuel to the fire, because what's going to happen is people are going to get in trouble behind it. And if you're not willing to bail these folks out, pay their legal fees, don't suggest stuff like that. That sounds like a Trump move. And unfortunately, you have to do stuff the right way. You have to realize it's a different law between us and them. Because if they'd done that, yeah, they would have been held accountable to it, even though some people feel like it would have been street justified. But you don't want to put yourself in danger. Because first of all, if you break into this guy's house and drag him out, he have every right to defend himself. And while I'm talking about uh, breaking into his house, that was one thing that Jasmine said. He kicked her door in a couple of times. Well, he just knew she wasn't in a position to defend herself. Welcome to the show, Love My Kinks. Listening in on Facebook. Thank you for always supporting the show. What's going on? Marcella Smith is in the house, a great supporter of the show. It's the People Show. I appreciate it, brother. But the thing is, you have to be smart how you do it. Now, what Jasmine said that he was kicked that door in a couple of times. Well, he probably knew she was in no position to protect herself, and that's how most racists do. Most racists would go. They would find a weak link, somebody who they feel that won't defend themselves. But when you find that right one, it'll be a different headline. Because if that was anybody else that he unkicked the door in, hey, that was your choice. Just hope you got your life right. That's all I'm gonna say, because you about to go see him. Because you find that right one, you going to see him, going up to the upper room. So, but that's how most racists do. Kind of like on the video yesterday, when the brother approached him, he had a different attitude. He went to apologize for everything that he said and did. But then he turned around and blamed it on the alcohol. If you can't hold your alcohol, you don't need a drink. And a lot of time when you drinking, you're gonna speak your true feelings. And that's basically what happened. You got full of that cheap vodka or gin or whatever you was drinking, and you decided to speak your mind, your true feelings against this couple that is a interracial couple, and violate them. But see, if it was anybody else, once your stomach touched them, touched the guy, that's an assault. And the right person would have made sure you known it was an assault. So hopefully this judge in this city do what's right and hold this fool accountable, because we seeing this all the time. Too much here in America. Yeah, it always been around, but since Trump came into office, he gave them some encouragement to do these type of things, and they feel like nothing would happen. And as I'm saying that, we're also talking about the 6-month anniversary since the attack on Capitol Hill. And still, I feel like enough haven't been done. Out of all those people, it's only five, I think it's 545 that been arrested. And then when they get arrested, you let them go. That's not how you treat a terrorist. A terrorist is supposed to be in jail behind the cage, because a terrorist, they could do it again if you let them out. But still, they not holding these folks accountable. They're allowing terrorists to travel to other countries. Where they do that at? Oh, I guess only in America. If you white, you're a terrorist, you do terrorist thing, it's okay. We're gonna let you out and live your life. But then you turn around, you have some asking for Trump to pay their legal fees because they did it for him. Well, why don't you come out and tell exactly who's behind all of this, even though we already assume who it is? We heard the comment he made. So why don't you go ahead and tell the truth about it? But then y'all want to stick up for this man, and for Congress and the Senate not to impeach him, mainly the Republican Senates and Congress. Why not impeach him? You should have. You had the perfect opportunity. We know who was behind that attack. He told y'all a long time ago, January 6th will be a day y'all would never forget. And guess what? It won't. We won't forget it. It's in the history book. Not unless somebody like Greg Abbott don't want that in the history book. As he don't want to talk about slavery in school. He don't want to talk about the true history of America. He want to whitewash it, which is not good. That's why it's so important that we teach our kids about our history, the true history of America, how America was stolen from Native Americans, how slavery lasted for over 400 years, and some people still in slavery today. So yeah, we need to teach them how they trying to do voter suppression in 2021 and admit to it. So yeah, we need to teach about the history of America, because if we don't, when we die, it will die with us. And that's what we need to prevent. We need to talk about it. That's just like yesterday. I talked about I believe his last name is Robertson. Part of the Capitol Hill terrorist attack, judge told him, let him out, but told him you need to get rid of all your guns. Since he been out, they found loaded guns at his house, a partially pipe bomb put together, and come to find out, this man had bought 34 guns online since his release back in January. And they still trying to let him stay out. But why? Why would you allow a person to do that? He's saying that he don't care about what y'all saying. He's going to do what he want to do. And once again, this is a former police officer. He was a police officer to protect and serve. You might want to go back and check his cases, because if he doing that and saying he don't care, he probably going to go back. No telling how many people he sent to jail that never should have gone to jail. So yeah, need to check on that too, because he's definitely a threat to society. You doing all of this and then you're still purchasing gun. They gave you a slap on the wrist to allow you to go back home. And then for the grandmother talking about she's too old to go to jail, she's 49. She's a grandmother. She said she was sorry. But on January 6th, she was all on social media talking about it was the best day of her life. The best day of her life. So you should have allowed her to celebrate in jail, to celebrate the best day of her life, attacking America. These are the same folks that were saying back the blue, but they was attacking the blue on January 6th. Saying blue lives matter, but they was attacking the blue. But you still let them out. You let them out like it wasn't a problem. Hold these folks accountable. That's how you do it. And I don't care who they are. You do something like that, you need to be held accountable. So Robertson, he's supposed to be having a court date. They trying to revoke his bond to put him back in jail. At this point, there's no hope in helping him. So yeah, I understand he was a police officer, but still, you doing something like this? I'm trying to pull up his full name, because he was a Virginia cop, Thomas Robertson. I thought it was Thomas. I wasn't quite sure. Secretly bought 34 guns. 34 guns online. 34 guns since his release. Why give him special privilege? Shouldn't give him anything special. Should say, you know what? You think this is a game? Let me show you a game. Send him in there with Big Bubba and let him pick straws. See how he liked that game. Because apparently he didn't like his freedom. And it's sad that they continue to allow these folks to get out. There have been other ones that have violated their release order. I believe there was one last month or a month before that actually was not supposed to have guns, but he ended up going hunting and showed pictures all on social media. Why are we allowing these folks to continue to do this? That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense. But once again, y'all don't want to hold these folks accountable. And for the ones that is in these positions that's refusing to hold them accountable, maybe we need to hold y'all accountable and vote you out. But people are going to have to get up and vote. That's all to it. They need to get up and vote every election. I don't care what it is. They could be voting on a dog race. You need to get out and vote. That's how you solve that. Get out and vote and hold them accountable. So right now, there's no update. Trying to see when are they gonna go and when is his next court appearance? Because if I'm not mistaken, the judge is trying to decide if you're gonna revoke his bond or not and put him back in jail. I don't know what is it to decide. This man already showed you this wasn't the first time. This was the second time that he done this. And he just didn't care. Don't care. Because some people feel like it's their right. Now, I know they did say it was pipe bombs that was found in during the terrorist attack. And because of those pipe bombs, and he's making pipe bombs, you might want to make sure it's not him. Allegedly, because I don't know if it was or not. So that's, to me, is all a slap in the face to America for the simple fact they don't care. They're allowing this to happen. And and which is crazy. And I don't understand it, won't understand it, and there's no use of trying to understand it. But hey, that's cool. But also for the families for the East Coast, I know that hurricane's supposed to hit, I believe overnight or tomorrow or something. Tomorrow, so definitely be careful with the Florida. Good thing it's not a direct hit, and it's not supposed to be as strong as it should be, but you still need to be careful with it. For the families of the victims of that building falling apart, praying for you, because they had to demolish the building. I believe it was yesterday or something, overnight, well, the night before. And they're still pulling bodies out, but at the same time, it's still a lot of people missing. A lot of people still missing. So, um, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this Tuesday. Um, Man, this week is going by quick. So, and hopefully y'all did enjoy this Tuesday, and hopefully they find all these people that took part of that ride and bring people to justice. What if it's elected officials that was actually part of it? Need to bring them to justice too, because that's just crazy that here it is, the greatest country in the world, and you want to try to overthrow our government, and you part of it. You was voted in to represent this country. Military personnel, police officers, sworn to protect and serve, and we see so many that is involved in this. Firemen that is involved. Olympic that is involved, which at this point, he should his if he won an Olympic medal, should they be stripped? Because here it is, you committed a terrorist act. Any other terrorist would be held in jail without a question, no doubt about it. They would not have cared who you were. You would have been up under the jail until you went to trial, and it would have been a quick trial. You wouldn't have got out of jail to go on a company vacation. You wouldn't have got out of jail to go on a family road trip. None of that would have happened. But we see the special privilege that a lot of them are getting. They're able to go on family vacation, road trips, and also get a slap on the wrist, 3 years probation, 70 hours of community service. That ain't nothing. And most of us work 70 hours in a week. So that's nothing. Um, but once again, that's because of who they are. But if there was a Black Lives Matter protest, it would have been a different outcome. Without a doubt, it would have been completely different. So other than that, I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. We will be back tomorrow with hopefully some better stories. Hopefully Terra Roling. We can report tomorrow she's in jail. I know the NBA started tonight, and ESPN, they finally did something right where they replaced. I've been reading about the story, seeing bits and pieces about it, where they removed one sister from the story, and then they allowed little Becky to get on it. But then they made the decision today put another sister on it. So I put the same sister on it. I'm not sure if it's the same one or not. But so hopefully, whatever that story is, hopefully it's definitely taken care of. And also, that officer that fatally shot Tamara Rice was denied his reinstatement after Ohio Supreme Court denies the appeal. So that's a good thing. And he don't need to be a cop. If he can't tell the difference between a water gun and a real gun that a child is holding, he don't need to be on there. Welcome to the show, T-Cal. Hey, Kurt Dog, jumping in and out. You know, it's my work night. Yeah, I know on Tuesday you normally work late, so definitely be safe. It's some storms in the area, so I don't know if it's up in your area, but definitely be safe. And thank you for always tuning in, supporting the show. And if this is your first time, please take the time out, like, subscribe, click the notification. And if you have a story idea that you would like for us to speak on, you can always send an email and we could definitely do it. Or if you have have a comment about the show, you can always send an email. We'll read it live on the show. That's how open we are. So you can definitely do that. And also, something else I was going to say. I have no idea. But um, other than that, I appreciate each and every one of you. Until tomorrow night, I love each and every one. Until then, peace.